A major shakeup could be brewing at Arrowhead as the Kansas City Chiefs quietly mull a potential late offseason move, one that could significantly reshape their roster just weeks before training camp begins. With the dust settling on much of the NFL's free agency period, you'd think Kansas City might be done for. But no, that may not be the case. I'm going to break it down for you, so hit the like button and let me know below. What do you think of Brett Veach? Do you think he's doing a good job? I want to hear your thoughts. Now, rumors are swirling, and inside sources have suggested that 3 intriguing names are being bandied about in the Chiefs' war room. None more surprising than this one, Amari Cooper. Yes, you heard that right. Amari Cooper, a former Pro Bowl wideout who has had stints in Las Vegas, Dallas, Cleveland, and, most recently, Buffalo, where things, frankly, didn't go as planned. Cooper, now 31, hasn't made the impact many Bills fans had hoped for, but he remains a name with enough pedigree and experience to raise eyebrows when linked with the defending champions. Now, before Chiefs Kingdom shrugs this off, consider this. What if Xavier Worthy or Rashee Rice, 2 of the team's most promising young receivers, aren't available for the early stretch of the season? The uncertainty surrounding possible league discipline looms large, and while the hope is that both are ready and eligible, GM Brett Veach can't afford to play the waiting game. That's where a veteran like Cooper could quietly become one of the smartest insurance policies in the NFL. No, he's not a WR1 anymore. Probably not even WR2. But a solid WR3? Absolutely. Imagine Cooper lined up alongside Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster while also providing mentorship to Jalen Royals, another rookie brought into the fold. Suddenly, the Chiefs' receiver room transforms from question mark to exclamation point. And let's not forget, depth matters. What if, knock on wood, there's an injury? Whether it's Worthy, Rice, Brown, or Juju, one bad tackle could shake up the rotation. Cooper isn't the player he was in 2020 or 2021, but even if he replicates his 2021 production, that would be a big win for a team with eyes set on a three-peat. Signing him wouldn't just be a move, it'd be a statement. A declaration that Kansas City isn't resting on its laurels, no matter how loaded the trophy case is. But the potential shakeups don't stop there. Eyes also turn toward the trenches, where the left guard spot remains unsettled. Right now, the presumed starter is Kingsley Suamataia, and while there's cautious optimism around his development, that role still feels like a gamble. What if he's not quite ready? What if the shift from tackle to guard doesn't work out? Enter Brandon Scherff. At 33, Scherff isn't in his prime anymore, but his reliability is impossible to ignore. A former Pro Bowler who, even last year with the Jaguars, posted solid PFF grades and, perhaps most impressively, didn't allow a single sack. Not one. He also drew just 2 penalties all season. Think about how valuable that kind of discipline and steadiness could be for Patrick Mahomes, who in 2024 was sacked more times than any previous season in his career. And the options behind Suamataia? Jalen Moore could slide in from tackle, or Mike Caliendo could continue developing. But again, why bank on could and might when you have a known quantity like Scherff available? Whether as a starter or a plug-and-play backup, he could be the piece that ensures the offensive line doesn't just survive, but thrives. But we're not done yet. Because the third name floating around? He might just be the most intriguing of the bunch, Za'Darius Smith. The edge rusher and former Lion, most recently with Cleveland, remains a disruptor even as he approaches the twilight of his career. 9 sacks last season split between Detroit and Cleveland, 5.5 the year prior, and a massive 12.5 sacks back in 2020. Those numbers speak for themselves. And here's the key, you can never, ever have too many pass rushers. Period. With George Karlaftis and Charles Omenihu locked in, plus young prospects like King Felix and Ashton Gillotte in the mix, some might argue Kansas City's edge room is good enough. But good enough doesn't win in January. It's depth. It's flexibility. It's pressure off the edge when it matters most. Za'Darius wouldn't just be another rotational piece, he'd be a game-changing option that could help transform Spagnuolo's defense from top-tier to downright terrifying. So now, Chiefs Kingdom, it's your turn. If Brett Veach can make one more splash before camp begins, who's your pick? Amari Cooper to fortify the wide receiver room? Brandon Scherff to anchor the interior line? Or Za'Darius Smith to supercharge the pass rush? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And just when you think the conversation ends with picking between three veterans, the implications behind each potential signing are far more intricate than they appear on the surface. These aren't just names on a board. Each decision reflects how the Chiefs intend to address some of their most critical vulnerabilities heading into one of the most anticipated seasons in franchise history. Start with Amari Cooper again. There's a reason his name leads the rumor mill. Even with declining numbers in Buffalo, his route running remains crisp, and his football IQ is exactly what Andy Reid loves in a plug-and-play wideout. Bringing in Cooper isn't just about catching passes, it's about adding a stabilizing veteran presence amid potential chaos. The Chiefs are gambling on Xavier Worthy being the breakout star everyone expects and on Rashee Rice staying on the field. But what if those bets don't pay off? If Worthy struggles to adapt to NFL speed early on, or if Rice faces a multi-game suspension, Cooper steps in, not as a savior, but as a security blanket. He's the guy who runs the 10-yard dig when the play breaks down. The one who knows when to sit in the zone instead of running himself out of a target. That reliability, in Mahomes' hands, becomes a weapon. Then there's Brandon Scherff, whose story echoes a different kind of necessity. The Chiefs' offensive line has quietly taken hits in the consistency department. Orlando Brown is gone, Joe Thuney battled injuries, and now, Swamatia, talented as he may be, is being asked to leap into a critical role. That's a huge ask. But Scherff? He's battle-tested. He's not flashy, but in a league where one missed assignment can cost you the game, he's exactly what you want standing between Mahomes and a 280-pound edge rusher. It's easy to underestimate the guard spot until your franchise quarterback gets buried on a 3rd and long. That's what this move would be about. Protection, continuity, insurance. And let's revisit Za'Darius Smith with the spotlight he deserves. Imagine, just for a second, a 3rd and 8 against Cincinnati or Baltimore in January. The crowd's roaring, the temperature's freezing, and the AFC Championship is on the line. Who do you want lining up opposite Karlaftis with Chris Jones drawing double teams inside? That's where Smith becomes lethal. He's a player with the motor, the hands, and the experience to win one-on-one battles in crunch time. And more than that, he adds depth. If Omenihu misses time, if King Felix isn't quite ready, if injuries pile up, Smith isn't just a body, he's production. A real threat. A difference maker. These aren't luxury additions, they're strategic plays. Veteran chess pieces placed precisely to ensure the Chiefs don't just compete, but dominate. Because as this dynasty enters year 3 of its Super Bowl reign, the margin for error tightens. Every weakness gets exploited. Every hole becomes a headline. So Chiefs Kingdom, what's the move? Who gives us the edge we need? Is it Amari Cooper's veteran savvy in a receiver room full of wild cards? Brandon Scherff's stability on a line with questions? Or Za'Darius Smith's relentless pressure off the edge? One decision, one signing, could shift the balance of power in the AFC. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Go Chiefs!